Hey guys, and welcome back to Sonic Rush. This is the conclusion of Blaze's story. Didn't really want to talk to Amy again, but who knows, maybe she has the fabled 7th Gemerald.
Oh god, we're going over quota, what do we do?
Well, let's see. We talked about characterization in the first part of Blaze's story, then it was music, then it was art style. God knows what we're going to talk about in this one.
Maybe the actual level that's going to come up, but...
Gameplay!
Gameplay. I suppose we could talk level design once the actual levels and whatnot start and whatnot, but we've got to humour Amy here on the edge of time and space. Look at it there. There's a visible line in the fucking atmosphere.
No, this is really easy. All you got to do is just say, "Hey Amy, I saw Sonic go into that black hole right there."
Oh my god, Sonic! That would be a sight to see Amy's head explode in a G-rated Sonic game.
Well, I mean, we did almost see Sonic and... not Sonic. Well, we did see Sonic die a couple of times, but we did pretty much see Amy and Knuckles nearly kind of croak it in Lost World.
They were never in any danger, get the fuck out of here.
But, you know, we saw it visually that looked like maybe, but obviously it's nowhere near Sonic actually dying and then, you know, getting kissed back to life by a human girl.
Oh, we're still on this track, are we?
Oh, believe me, I get comments on my Sonic 06 long play literally 3 or 4 times a day about Sonic kissing the princess. People are still on that. They always fucking will be.
14 years ago, guys. Come on now.
That doesn't make it any better.
That's older than a lot of the people making those comments, to be fair.
Snap! Ow. I hit my head a little bit too hard there. I'm gonna punch you into the stratosphere, Blaze! It's Knuckles. We shouldn't fuckles with him lest he chuckles, and he doesn't like that.
You run out of words that rhyme with Knuckles, didn't you?
Let's see. Uckles, Buckles, Cuckles, Duckles, Eockles, Fuckles, Guckles. Yeah, that'll do.
No, there's plenty of letters left. Keep going.
I didn't want you guys to find out like this, but that's the breadth of the alphabet I've mastered so far.
Maybe we need to do Sonic Schoolhouse just to catch you up to speed.
Maybe. That's like one Sonic game I've never even sat down to watch gameplay of.
I might have to see if I can acquire it at some point.
Acquire it.
Considering, you know, technically, I suppose in order for Health Icons to complete its raison d'etre, it kind of is going to have to try and do all of the Sonic games at some point. So
I think that's the only way I can physically die and pass on. It's like when every Sonic game is complete, I'll just turn to dust.
Hey guys, this is our purgatory, okay?
It's not fair flying away, I can only glide. Where are we, Cream? This is an informed attribute again.
Don't take this the wrong way. Knuckles is actually a nice guy. But those two sentences don't add up.
Script? Script is what we can talk about in this one.
Oh, have you guys been reading this?
Oh, never mind. That was just a false hope, a false lead. Yes, we have one more Chaos Emerald to get, and teleporting Cream will never not be funny. Oh god, these feelings are actually pretty sweet, actually, caring for other people.
Yeah, but I want my shiny emerald. That's more important. I can flog this later.
I will fucking kick you down the flight of stairs into a fresher if you get in the way of me and my shiny stones, mate.
It's more that eBay has terms of service against selling pet rabbits, I think.
True, very true. Well, this track, this version of Deadline here, sounds a lot more final than Sonic's one does.
Yeah, but at the same time, I like Sonic's more poppy take on what you need. And this actually, I want to go back temporarily to what we were talking about last part in terms of like everything coming together, and the fact that this game on the whole has a kind of abstract overtone to it which is cohesive across all the presentation, and that's in terms of the level design here, you know, it's very man-made. It's very like, it's a base, but it's got a bit of a stylistic look to it as a base with the use of colour and the like hexagonal patterns in the background and whatnot.
Right.
You got that with pretty much all the levels. They're like the theme, but with a little bit of an abstract overtone to them, and that ties in well with the sample-based soundtrack, which is like the auditory equivalent of that. And so that tied in with like the more like, I don't know whether I'd say jittery boost, but like the more controlled speed, you know, rather than momentum-based speed. It feels like a kind of a more man-made experience on the whole. That's a really weird way to put it, but like that's the cohesive feel that I get from everything about this game. And I like that a lot, actually. It's a massive step away from classic Sonic, which was very much a nature versus mankind kind of story. This, like, obviously errs a lot more on the technology side than the nature side, and I feel like that's a good... I guess that's another way that you got this experience contrasting Sonic's experience in a way, in the fact that Sonic, whenever Sonic's around, like, and taking the lead, you know, it's very much a running through hills, running through the woodlands, stuff like that. And then Blaze shows up and, you know, now we've got, like, the counter to that. But it's like a moral equivalent because they're both good guys. So it's like we're seeing the other side of the man-made setting, rather than like it usually being the nature good, man bad, because man is usually Eggman.
Well, just to give some, you know, clarity to what Flame was saying, in case any of you kind of zoned out there, it's bringing all aspects together: characterization, music, level design, story importance and whatnot, art style. Yeah, I agree, it does kind of have like a man-made vibe to it. Like, a lot of the levels feel very piecemeal. That's probably just, you know, a side effect of the 2D art clashing with, you know, the 3D models and whatnot. But no, I totally agree, it works in service of the game rather than going against it.
I would say it's less of a clash between the sprites and models and more of a complement, because it very much distinguishes what's foreground and what's background.
I mean, I suppose the other thing is that, in a way, it's a very similar approach as Colours, in the sense of that is obviously visually very man-made, manufactured, because it literally is, because it's just a theme park. But also, because it goes much more heavily on the comedy, but that is also there in the gameplay, because you've got all of the Eggpawns waving in different outfits, waving different things. You've got Eggman cracking jokes and everyone cracking jokes all the way through. It's just, it goes for funny and man-made. This goes for slightly off its face and man-made. And yeah, it's a nice contrast to the more typical nature v man approach, which occurs in most of the classic games, and, well, also I'd say adventure.
It's a very subjective thing we're talking about here, by the way. If you guys don't agree, that's fine. We've just reached the point in our lives, I guess, when we've been playing, well, Flame and I have. Richie's more of a new Sonic fan for the most part.
Well, I mean, it's still 12 years, I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, whatever, time is relative, I guess. Where we can just, like, read into this stuff, maybe a bit too much. Obviously, you know, we are Sonic fans, we have that about us. But it's a very interesting thing to kind of analyse and whatnot.
While you were getting a job, I was studying the hedgehog.
Ah, yes.
But no, like, I do want to just make one last comparison between this and Colours, given we brought it up. I feel like the gameplay pulls it off better in terms of, not like in terms of meeting the theme, but in terms of bringing it into a gameplay experience. In the fact that this game, the sort of boost, like being a binary on-off thing, that is complemented by the level design better than Colours does, because colours limits the amount of boost you get by a lot by siphoning it off to just the wisp containers, and also the level design doesn't really reward the boost. A lot of the platforming in colours is jumping up blocks, which, you know, it feels a lot more stop and start, whereas this, although you do have fixed control over how fast you're going, there's a lot of skill involved in like using the ramps in like partnership with the boost just to make it like work, whereas that isn't quite as flexible in colours, I don't think.
No. Well, colours reward you for using the wisps and whatnot as well. Like, they're mostly optional, but you get the most out of levels using the gimmick.
Yeah, but a lot of those are slow, like you have to slow down to use the hover, and you gotta set yourself up for a good aim with the laser and things like that. It's not quite as rewarding as this is, I don't think.
Yeah, I suppose the other thing is that in terms of a game identity, Colours was very much trying to, rightfully so, iterate on the Unleashed Day formula. So it was trying to take what worked and trying to fix some of the things that perhaps weren't received as well. And it went some way to achieving that, but as a result maybe didn't necessarily have as much of a gameplay identity apart from the rest of the franchise as it could have done, like Rush and Rush Adventure. But that's not a bad thing, because really that is what Sonic Team needs to do more of iterate on gameplay ideas to, you know, make them better.
No, we should just throw it all out. Just get it out of here, start fresh, and why are we getting low review scores? Can't possibly imagine why.
Well, I feel like Colours was more a case of they were listening to the feedback but kind of went too far the other way. Because it's like, you can see like some of the criticisms of Unleashed Day levels were like, you know, it's a bit boost to win, there's a lot of just going faster and it's more spectacle than substance and that. Like, I don't necessarily agree, but I can see where people are coming from with those criticisms. But like, Colours was just like, okay, it's got to be all jumping, all platforming, and you kind of lose a bit of the appeal in the process. But like, I feel like Generations was much closer to the ideal medium there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think that's a pretty standard view throughout most of the Sonic fandom, is that Generations had, gameplay-wise, the best version of the boost gameplay and level design. It's just that it suffered on the... well, the bit where you get into the more subjective area is... it suffered in terms of its plot, and the fact of they just abandoned all the hard work that they put in all of the games that came after.
What a fantastic discussion we've had here. I'm going to be honest, I only followed about maybe 30% of it, but it felt fairly high concept. Oh hey, it's the Sonic Tornado from SA2.
Hey!
Yeah, it's one of them powers that he gets when he's a boss and nothing else, but like, you know, it's just making it a little bit more interesting than a pure shadow fight. Although it is still very easy, just when you see him do that, he charges up forever with his like homing attack spin thing there. So like, just when you see him do that, just, you know, like, it's a very predictable attack, so just jump when he's about to fire down.
Watching these animations, it just amazes me that this came out like a year or two before Chronicles, and yet these 3D models are so much better.
Yeah.
Well, that's another art style thing, isn't it? It's like, for Chronicles, they were just sort of crunching everything down for no apparent reason, really.
I can't believe I'm defending frickin' Chronicles. But there is obviously a difference in terms of the type and size of game that you're dealing with, because this is a pretty short, effectively 2D platformer with very few 3D models going on, whereas Chronicles is an RPG with quite a few, specifically in battles.
I know.
But, with that said, that still doesn't excuse how crap that game looked.
It doesn't look that great, but I will say Chronicles does also reuse a bunch of assets and also use some more pixel art stuff subtly in the overworlds and that, so I don't know where I'll land on that. It looks fine for what it is, but could have been so much better.
Enough! Emotions are bullshit, I'm gonna show you why.
Fuck emotions, just mash the buttons instead.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like, when you're playing as Sonic, Tails cheers you on to beat up Blaze. That makes sense, but in this it's like Cream's like, yeah, beat up Mr. Sonic, this is amazing.
Well, she looks more nervous than anything right now. Especially like she's looking like he's changed now, but when he just had that like aimless expression with his mouth and whatnot.
I thought she was gonna like roundhouse kick Sonic there for a second.
Just yeet him off along with Eggman.
Can we get like a Blaze Echo Fire for Sonic in Ultimate, please?
I mean, I'd be down with that.
No, you'll get an assist trophy, fuck you.
Oh.
Look, I'm bitter about Shadow, okay?
Yeah, that was bullshit. They left that until way too late to reveal. Same with like Isaac and whatnot. I mean, you've basically got them all now, haven't you?
Yeah.
She's got to get back to her own dimension, though.
Ah, that's true, yeah. The world, they haven't really been focusing on this aspect much. Well, they might have been done, I zone out during the text boxes and whatnot. But the realities are clashing and crashing together, and that's no bueno. They need to be separate.
Yeah, because when you have two realities clashing into each other, it's a mess. See Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I want to see Into the Spider-Verse again, actually.
Yeah, although by that I mean I don't mean that the film's a mess. The film is easily the best Spider-Man film to have ever come out and is one of the best superhero films ever. I mean more, it specifically deals with what happens when multiple realities start messing with each other.
Man, slight side note, but the Spider-Verse costume
Oh
and
my god.
mod in the upcoming Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales looks fucking insane, fam!
It looks incredible. Like, Spider-Verse is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Really?
And just makes me excited for... just the whole idea of multiverses in various things going forwards. Because, obviously, it's where the MCU is going. I mean, literally, yeah. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
WandaVision.
Yeah, but the possibilities that sort of approach can lead to is just really exciting. It's really nerdy and, like, going to be more of a challenge for people who are newer to franchises to get their heads around. But still, and Jesus Christ, he's a creepy man.
No, really? He's just stolen Cream Roy while no one was looking, and I suppose we have to go save her?
Do we, though?
Well, would anyone miss Cream if we just happened to take a day off? You know, just let Eggman deal with things, really.
I mean, to be fair, he should have just, you know, gone and nicked Vanilla, and then nobody would have cared.
No one would have noticed.
You are treading dangerous waters there, Rich. You want to be very careful what you say.
Oh, have you got something to tell us, Tom?
No, I've just seen things, okay? Things that no Sonic fan should ever have to see.
Oh, God.
I don't get it. What are you talking about?
You fuck off, you disingenuous prick. You're such a troll. This is what I have to put up with on a daily basis.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just having my fun.
Yeah, that's fair. And all I get in return is Flame helping out 50,000% behind the scenes and basically allowing me to do my job in a more effective manner. Damn him, the selfish prick.
Well, see, this is my way of operating. It's like, I don't like being, like, overly useful and that, so anything I do to help someone out, I have to balance it out, maintain that equilibrium, and if that means getting you to explain Sonic Fetish Art to me every now and then, that's gonna be what happens.
I think Eggman would be a good father, actually. I'm just saying. Anyway, a bit more Bomber Barbara over here, liking the paint job this version has. Why is this called the F Zone, though?
The final zone, but it's not actually the final zone because that's to to be fair, I don't know exactly how the game ends, but usually, you know, the last story / the final zone is the final level of the game, not the final one of the character stories.
Well, given what we were just talking about, it could be the zone off the F list.
True.
Neither of you actually get that and are humming along, and that makes it so much funnier to me.
No, I sort of get it, which makes it all the more dubious.
Yeah, but I will say this paint job on this mech is fucking hideous.
It's garish, but I kind of dig it, really.
It's fitting for Eggman in a way, in the fact that it looks like fucking shit, but that's not really a sincere compliment.
Yeah, I have to say, it's not even really Eggman's aesthetic, because most of Eggman's robots are, you know, the reds and the greys and the blacks. He's not really a bright pink kind of guy. And really, this would look better if, you know, it didn't have, if it went with either just the turquoise or just the pink.
Yes.
It's the two together that just makes you go, oh, that's a little bit on the eyes. This isn't a battle in Splatoon.
Yeah, good point.
Where it works because it's two opposing teams trying to spread their ink. I mean, hey, maybe the game predicted Splatoon in its colour combination.
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say no. No, that's stupid.
But think how many views you could get on a theory video about that.
But that's just a theory. A Sonic theory.
Did Blaze the Cat predict Splatoon, and then there's just, like, really compressed fan art of both of them in the thumbnail?
No, just a big picture of Blaze with a question mark all over it.
Even better, Splatoon, Blaze with, you know, the Inkling Girl tentacles.
Yeah, they would get that in the thumbnail. Because you got to.
Yeah, well, we were talking about fetish art earlier. Just to change tact entirely, this is one of Eggman's more deadly robots, really. Like, in terms of final bosses, this is definitely up there in terms of power.
Like, it has a lot more different, like, a lot more of a range of what it can do. Like, them lightning attacks can be really annoying. Blaze does benefit from having a hover when he does these shots along the ground, I will say. It makes it a fair bit easier to dodge them with Blaze than when you use Sonic. But, like, look at this, is taking the fucking piss, come on.
Sorry about that, I had to charge up. Oh, that was a tricky one.
Yeah, they do vary up the patterns, although to be fair, it's the final boss of the story, so it's only fair. Though it is a lot harder on some of the other final bosses we've had. Like, if you compare this to, like, say, fucking Final Zone or whatever, you know, like, there's a lot more trying to kill you here.
Final Zone isn't really Eggman even attacking you with a robot, it's just a series of pistons going up and down.
Basically, like, all it's really got is that you don't get rings, but, you know, when the attacks are so predictable, it don't really matter.
Time for Eggman's iconic line, I'm going to send you to high school. Yes, this will work. I'll just ram my face into the platform.
Notice how much I did of nothing there.
Only now does he realise he had multiple long-range attacks he could have used there.
Well, he spent the last few minutes doing that and nothing happened, so, you know.
Very nicely done, Flame. That's another story done.
Now we get raising me up again, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Love this art.
It's a good bit of art.
The artwork's good, the music's good. It's a good little conclusion to the story.
Oh god, Cream, how am I going to explain this to Vanilla? Oh my god. Like, for a minute she's like, oh, she might actually be dead. Nah, just kidding. Ah, fuck.
Cream, you can fucking fly!
What is it with this family and falling out of the sky and people catching them?
I don't know, maybe it's genetic.
Yeah, maybe it is. But yeah, that's the end of the second of two playable stories, guys. So coming up next and last is the finale of Rush. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
You proceed. This is what you need. What you need.
Feeling